right here in front of you. So with this one, and the one change that I have is that I have to make it into block form. I will try to see how much I can fit where you'll have blocks and also lines of code. We're still transitioning. We will get here on all text space, but right now, since we're just beginning to learn how to code, I prefer the blocks. And so on your quiz, expect to see blocks and also these lines. And from your Olympic rings assignment, you should have learned like order really matters here, especially when filling in certain shapes and then drawing in certain shapes. In this question, which picture best matches the output? This is the code that's being run. Imagine if you press the run button, which one of these would match? If you're completely stuck, you can copy and paste these lines of code into your game lab and run it to confirm, but you won't have that on your quiz. So you have to use the best kind of compiler, the best kind of computer, your human brain, to figure out this question. We notice over here, let's see, the RGB values. I'll remind you this first one, or maybe I'll change it on the test to be like red instead. If it was like this, fill red and then ellipse, okay, great, and these are XY coordinates I remember, then this is width and height. So there's a circle somewhere. Good, all of these have circles. But I think that since the red is right above it, that there should be a red circle. So that means these green one, option B is eliminated. Then I say fill, let's see, RGB. So this one on the test I may say fill green, or remind you about the RGB values. So the next two shapes are then green. We have a rectangle that's drawn first, emphasis on drawn first, at 10, 10, 80, and 20. Its width is way greater than its height, and that's drawn on top of the circle. So when I say on top, that means I can eliminate option A. And so a long, not as tall green rectangle, that's good. And I know at this line, line 6, whichever it is, line 5, rectangle 10, 50, and 10. Without even looking at the coordinates, I know it's smaller from width and height, and there should be green colored, so I can eliminate option C. The final answer here should be option D, and the next slide I should show you that. Careful on these other ones. They're here to fool you, although they're very similar. Any questions from the computer programming AA class? I'll rephrase it so it makes it into the video. Any questions about this? On your quiz Friday, you'll see something similar to this, give or take maybe 3 or 4 that are more involved coding questions, and then you have a handful of true and false questions. You will have time on Friday to review a little bit on your computer if like you didn't have time to study, and then whenever you're ready, then you get the quiz from me, finish, and then you're good to go. And then I'll tell you about revisions after our first quiz. All right, that's all computer